Hello, everybody. Okay, I gotta try to talk in a low voice. Last video I did was a little loud, but they are trying to sleep, and I gotta respect that. That's why I have the microphone to my mouth so that I don't have to speak loud. Um, this video I want to make because approximately about 2 hours ago, and being the fact that it's a new year, I've been having problems finding employment, and the employments that I had that were physical, they kind of like no longer have been available to me. I got in a couple accidents and a couple of them, which is why I needed pain medication for a little while. But then it got too much, and slowly but surely, I started getting less jobs regarding those. Um, and then a couple of things happened this new year. Yeah, so I decided I could that I would want to speak to my psychiatrist to try to change the medications I was taking. Quite possibly the majority of them, actually maybe all of them, even my blood pressure medication, because a while ago I was given a different type of blood pressure medication, and I'm not sure if that one worked well, but I'm gonna find out about it. So the whole point was that since I'm not doing physical work, the idea of the the pain med would not be so necessary because I'm not going to be doing physical strenuous jobs where I would be needing so much pain med in order to, you know, complete the jobs, complete the tasks without having to run into too much, um, what is like the terminology I'm looking for? Being able to not do it to full capacity. But as of this month, a couple of things happened. Um, like today, for instance, I heard some terrible news in regards to our daughter's mom, and I don't want to get into too much details, but it's almost it was something that it brought me into shock and panic as well because it had to do with the possibility of her getting an infection in her blood, which could possibly lead her to her death within 12 hours, per what she told me. And that really, put me in a state of panic. And the other day, she also showed me something that was wrong with her physical state that also I almost panicked about that, but I just walked right out of the room right away because I could not bear to see what she was showing me. Um, so I was thinking of a few things. I was thinking of, since my physical labor has not been, just hasn't been there, I was thinking about asking my psychiatrist to maybe lower my pain medication. And because of the fact that I've been going through a lot of, you know, things that bring out like panics within me, I was thinking of asking her lower my pain medication to every 12 hours instead of every 8, and then my general anxiety disorder panic attack medication, change that from every 8 hours to every 6. And if you look in through the internet, it's widely accepted that the medication that I take, there is one website said that it could last like 8 hours, but the majority of them say that it lasts from 4 to 6 hours. So it's just common sense that if I take that medication, it should be prescribed every 6 hours. And especially now, since the things that I've been going through, because you know the mother of our daughter is going through a lot, and it's a lot for me to handle. You know, it causes panic because I don't know what's gonna happen. You know, and it's also caused panic within her older daughter and her mother. They're all on top of her about it. It's not just me. We all care about her, but I can't. I personally can't handle it that well, especially because I'm not. You know, I'm not a graduate student. I don't know anything about medicine as well as other people, and so I was thinking of trying to speak to my psychiatrist to see if some changes could be done. The pain med, reduce it. The um, the general anxiety disorder, panic attack, medication. See if I could change it from every 8 to 6 hours. So change one from every 8 to 12. That's the pain med. Change the other one from every 8 to 6. That's the one for the GAD and the panic attacks. Um, the medication that I take for the SSRI, I was thinking about trying a new one because the lady that runs the clinic, she actually mentioned to me that she preferred a different type of SSRI. It was one that I was prescribed when I was a teenager, but because I was dumb and I was a teenager, I took it for a few days, didn't see any changes, not realizing that that type of medication you gotta take for like 2 weeks to a month, you know, as directed before it starts taking effect. So I don't think I may have truly gotten like um, the direct scope of the benefits of it. Although the one that I take right now, Paxil, it's actually, when I was looking online, it said that it helps a lot with you know, not just major depressive disorder, but also like anxieties, you know. So, and those are things that I suffer a lot from because I pretty much I'm a homebody because I don't like to go out. The only time I go out is when I go to the supermarket to get things for the my baby, the princess, and I don't even see my sisters. I because I don't have transportation, and when mom and dad go, you know, sometimes I may feel uncomfortable when I wish I could go, but I can't. I don't have transportation. You guys know that. I have an iPhone 13 mini and I have a couch, and I'm able to record out here. This is my little recording area where, if you can see, I'm outdoors. This is my little like you know, my little studio. And but what I did, because I don't want to ask my psychiatrist for it, because even though a doctor will write a prescription for something which they feel is something that you need, the pharmacist, at their own discretion, they can just pretty much say, oh, I don't feel comfortable filling this. So I called the pharmacy where I fill my anxiety medication, and I fill my depression medication. And the lady that was there right now, she replaced the other lady. She said that it's not recommended because I take 6 milligrams a day, and which is already two over from what they recommend. But when you look online, people who suffer from panic attacks, the according to the manufacturer, the most that they can take is 10 milligrams a day. And if I switch to every 6 hours, that would only mean 8 milligrams a day. So it's not even the most that is allotted by the manufacturer. So I don't know what to do. Should I ask my psychiatrist to write a letter to the pharmacy manager, Mr. DeStefan, Steven DeStefan, which is right here at the pharmacy, right here across the street from me. I can walk there in 8 minutes, and I gotta let her know that I'm allergic to naloxone because they don't want to fill my pain medication because they say that uh, I have to be allergic to naloxone. So I gotta let them know I'm allergic to naloxone because if that were the case, I could fill all of my medications right here at my local supermarket, and it would make it very easy. It's walkable distance. Remember, I don't have a vehicle in this suburban area, which is car centric, and it would just make things a whole lot easier. I could be more autonomous, without having to rely. I could walk to my doctor's office. I can walk to the pharmacy. I can do a lot of things on my own, but I'm being inhibited because of the powers that be, especially the pharmacist. Like, for instance, the other day I went to um, a pharmacy, which I filled plenty of times, and I brought my prescriptions in one day because this is one of the more affordable pharmacies, albeit it's miles away, so I had to get transportation. I called first and I asked, I gave my name, my date of birth, the medication. They said, yeah, come on in. I spoke to a gentleman. When I went there, the pharmacist turned out to be a woman. She looked at the scripts and she said, oh, I don't feel comfortable filling this. And then as a result, I had to go to another pharmacy which charges, like, if not 100, 200% more. Yeah, 200% more than what they charge at the pharmacy that I was trying to go previous. So I had gotten a real scare this month that I wasn't going to be able to continue my medication. So I tried to start, every little bit of penny that I could save. It didn't matter how what. Did odd and then jobs. I worked with my buddy of mine. Thank goodness he gave me some work. Which lately I haven't been able to get too much work, and even got to the point where I asked people, please give me some donations in IRL because for the most part on here through this platform, donations are like non-existent. Not non-existent. People think everybody thinks it's a scam, which is understandable, but I can truly attest that I am not scamming anybody. Everything that I do, if you are willing to do any donation, I will provide receipts. I have receipts already. I save some receipts, but if you donate, I will definitely get a receipt for that month. I don't get them every month because I don't like to bother the people at the clinic to give me a receipt every month. But if you are willing to donate, I will get the receipts for everything. You know, if it's the clinic, if it's the how I filled, and then after I'm able to care for myself, my next goal is to care for my baby. My baby, you know, lately because I haven't had a lot of work. Papa Alex, my dad, has been the one that has been providing her with her takeout food, which makes me super sad because I was the one that was doing that for a while, but things had just gotten so slow, and it is what it is. At the end of the day, my baby got her food, and I have to let my ego, just, you know, I can't let my ego get in the way as long as my daughter gets what she needs or what she wants. But I still do as much as I can for her. Like, she wants to get something from the supermarket, I'll walk, I'll get it for her. Or all the time when I try to offer her food, Like if there's home cooked food, I always offer her. I always bring her drinks. As far as the Patreon, I was doing it every day, but I kind of stopped because one, no patrons, and two, due to the fact that I wasn't able to do a lot of the carry out or pay for a lot of the carry out, I kind of got discouraged. But if you're watching this and you truly do, you truly do feel it in your heart that I, I am completely telling the truth and I'm willing to prove it to you. Like I said, I will show you the receipts. If you make any donation of any sort, I will show the receipts right away, the same day if need be, or yeah, I'll do it the same day because I've never gotten a donation except for like a couple buddy of mine send me like $5 here and there. Thank you to God. I appreciate that, guys. Thank you so much. But if you guys can make any donations to help me, even if it's $5, $10, or a couple dollars, it doesn't even matter. I will add it all up. I'll tally it all up, and then I'll try to put the rest of the money in. I'll I'll, I'll post the receipts online for everything that I do, and hopefully that will give you guys a little bit of you know like trust and confidence in everything that I say, which is, like I said, I'm not trying to scam anybody. I'm just like trying to seek a little bit of help until I can find formal employment. I've been trying, I'm not gonna say I've been trying 100%, but I've been trying, and it gets discouraging after a while. Some jobs are kind of like scams, they want you to pay money. Um, the job that I wanted to get, it's been so hard, and the reason why I wanted to get that job is because that job offered a like a way so that in case once I quit, I could leave um, dividends from the company so that hopefully they would help my baby in the future, which was my number one priority. But as of right now, it looks like I may have to follow some kind of endeavor where I have to maybe start my own business, and if it goes well, hire some type of like what is this, CCP, or I don't know, like somebody that will help me with establishing um, a way so that I can put money aside to help the princess. I'm not in the best position in life. I do need further education, which my psychiatrist has encouraged me to do, and I told her that I do want to do it. I had been thinking, oh, I want to wait for my daughter to start doing college credits, but I might have to start doing it sooner than later, even if it's just one class at a time. But even that costs money, and everything. It's the way societies work. This works is capitalism. Dog eat dog. It's a rat race. I'm not. I'm not too inclined to, you know, sacrifice myself so much to try to you know, beat other people to whatever. I don't even know if I have the fight within me. I gotta try to find it. But for the meantime, I'm gonna see if I can talk to my psychiatrist, have her write, if she'd be willing to have her write some letters directly to the pharmacist, because like I said, right now, I feel like my treatment might need some, it needs some changes, you know. The physical work has changed, so the pain medication, I don't feel like I need as much. Um, but because of everything that's happening with our daughter's mom, and like I said, I'm not the only one concerned. Her mother and her older daughter are very concerned, and just as I am. When she told me what when she told me what they told her at the clinic today, I was super worried because at one point she said that she could have 12 hours to leave to live, and that's not what I want. I want our daughter to be raised both by myself and by her mother because to me that's very important. Children need to have both mom and dad, in my opinion. It doesn't mean it's always the best. You know, single mothers work hard and they provide with their kids with, and sometimes that motivates kids to, try even harder. But I want to be there for my daughter as much as I can, especially because of the fact that I've had a history. I have a history of a couple of criminal offenses that were completely benign. A lot of them victimless, and a lot of them I was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. I was young. I'm 62 at the moment. Sorry, 61. And the point is that those were from such a long time ago that if I don't know if I need to get one of them expunged because it might be the one that might be not allowing me to work at the supermarket that I want to work at. But again, all those things cost money, which I do not have. I barely have enough money to pay for my to go to the clinic, and then I have to kind of like depend on my parents and depend on charity. Sometimes I'm not gonna lie, I ask strangers for money, and because I have no choice. I have no choice. I know it's soliciting, and it may not be the best thing to do, but I have to do what I have to do to survive, and I cannot just stop doing what I have to do to survive, or at least be able to provide for my baby and her mom as well, because I am there emotionally for her mom as well. And that's another thing I did in my community tab. I put a question there because I'm under a lot of stress. I'm under Mom has me under child support. I don't think it was her intention. They made her sign that about 11 years ago when we were getting our daughter back, and it just started to catch up right now. But we both care for our daughter just as much, you know. I'd argue that between Papa Alex and I, we might even care more. That's debatable. Mom can debate it, but you know, I just wanted to provide the best childhood for my daughter, given the circumstances that I had. I try to make her laugh every day. Um, when I walked her to school, I always ask her about her school. What she learned, if she learned anything exciting. I try to establish, you know, some sort of values right now that are simple. Like listen. Like when she goes to school, listen. Ask questions and be kind. The be kind part, I tell her that implies towards the whole day. The way, hopefully, she's not mean to her mom. Sometimes I have to go in and discipline her, and which mom doesn't want to do, but I have to do. But I understand that if I don't discipline her, you know, down the road, she'll probably get disciplined by Leos, and you don't want to get disciplined by a Leo because the law, you know, they don't forgive. They put everything down on record, and if you're lucky, it gets dismissed. But more than likely, they don't forgive for what they do. Look at me, all the things, all the problems that I had to suffer from things that I did because I was at the wrong place at the wrong time. You know, I didn't think twice about things that I did, and a lot of the things were just wrong place, wrong time. You know, people manipulated me thinking like, oh, I don't have an ID, can I borrow yours? And then that turned out to be, that one thing turned out to be being involved in, I think it was in theft, which I did not steal anything. The person who was stolen from, it just so happened to be a friend of the person that stole from him, and we were all friends. And when he came over, I said, "Hey, come on in, man. Our friend just came up on a couple of these things, not knowing that they were his." So right away, he knew I had nothing to do with it, and we kind of settled it. And I got really bad advice from a lawyer from that. To this day, I almost feel like filing a lawsuit against that lawyer because we paid that lawyer to um, go to court and to all the way, to fight the trial. I was just tired of mom and dad driving me to the courthouse so many times that the state, they didn't have anything. At the very end, they offered me, look, we'll give you 1 day administrative probation, which what that means is all you have to do is show up to like Oakland Park and 441, sign your name, and not get in trouble for 24 hours. I was like, okay, I'll accept that because I don't want my parents to keep coming driving back and forth. But my lawyer, he should have seen the repercussions of that. He should have seen that if I had not, that I should have pleaded not guilty because that followed me for the rest of my life. So I essentially got bad advice from a lawyer, which we paid full money to take the case to trial, but he did not advise me against that. And essentially, because of that, my life got ruined. Another one was a felony charge because I was working at the time and our daughter's mom was not. And part of her excuse was, oh, I can't go looking for a job in the morning if I don't have my medicine, which was an opioid. It was a oxycodone. So I said to her, I'm like, look, I'll get an oxycodone for you. I'll hold it for you. Because at that time she couldn't, you know, if she had it, she would just do it. So I held it for her. But what I didn't know was that earlier that day, I was working. This was when I was working at the eye doctor's. Um, and she would wait for me in the car. She parked like behind the McDonald's. And she had a confrontation with the manager at McDonald's, and the McDonald's called the police. One of the police officers, which I will refer to as Superman because he felt like he was above the law, and allegedly he had broken so many protocols in the way that he handled his policing. Usually police officers have to wait for backup. He never waited for backup, and it's just a whole big ordeal. I don't know if he works for the city of Pembroke Pines anymore. He came at the scene, searched the car, nothing was found, but he saw that they were living in the car. And then later on in the night, I wasn't aware of what had happened, and I had the one pill of the oxycodone on me, and without thinking twice, because I wasn't thinking, I was like, yeah, sure, you can search me, and he found the pill on me. I got arrested a felony charge for holding an opioid, which is a narcotic, for our daughter's mom so that the next day she could go and apply for a job. And I ended up paying the price for it. So you guys can see all the things that I've been through if you want to, leave comments if you have questions, and please subscribe if you. I would really appreciate it. It helps, and leave comments, all the engagements. That way. YouTube is a hobby for now. I've noticed a lot of YouTubers have been wanting to quit, but I'm gonna continue recording because it's a pastime, and I'd rather keep myself busy instead of being idle. And I gotta try to find more jobs, or at least jobs that aren't scams. And but I think the best bet for me is to just start like a corporation or an LLC or something where I can work on my own and provide a service that's not provided, because a lot of places don't want to hire me. I've tried plenty places. I mean, at one point I went ridiculous, and some places said yeah, but then mom said, "Oh, it's too far." Then I tried close by, but close by is a little harder because I live in an area that's kind of affluent, so they kind of like nitpick at who they want to hire. So, but anyways, that's my story. Keep it nice and short. Thank you for watching the video. I really appreciate it. Again, any donation, I would highly appreciate it. And like I said, I will 100% put up all the receipts. That way you guys are aware of where your donations are being, how they are being used. And if for any reason I receive more than I need, if anyone requests a refund, I will oblige. But to be honest, I could use even extra funds in case I cannot find employment until a while. But um I will do whatever it takes so that the viewers. I don't want to disappoint any of my viewers, and I don't want you guys to think that, again, pulling a scam, which is not the case at all. All right. Thanks so very much for watching. I really appreciate it. Okay. Ciao.